a team, obviously, with Dawn, we've kind of a very, very similar strategy with Zinc, the all-in sort of team fight and push, the Tempest, the Magnus, and a lot of burst potential as well with Pyromancer as well. So, I mean, I think they could do it in this game, and I would sort of dare to say that it could work very, very well. They've got, obviously, the right-clicking Berserker, another hero that obviously is tanky and yet can deal out a lot of damage. If they do run sort of a full melee and full short of strength heroes, I think Zinc might be in a little bit of trouble unless they have some strong, late game physical presence. Obviously, Drunken Master is picked up now as well, so maybe they were watching that last series against Dawn and try to have some kind of way of dealing against maybe a potential very, very tanky lineup. And there's the Oogie, man.
Yeah.
So we might be in effect. And like I said before, it does work because Zinc, a lot of team fight, a lot of ultimates after they've been used. If Nullstone can withstand that, it can work very well. So we'll have to see.
I gotta get. I missed out my chance on the first time around, but I gotta come through this time here. As far as the theme song goes. Wait, where the hell's the theme song? Oogie theme song. Oh my god, I can't find it. I can't freaking find it. How do I not have that bookmarked? Anyways. All right, well, maybe it'll pop up. Tempest into Dark Lady, the band's coming out here. But yeah, the tankiness is perhaps upon us. Yeah, the Keep of the Force, they ran that game as well. And speaking of tankiness, that kind of assisted to that. So wonder if Sync is going to look at that possibly and take that option out. They banned Tempest. They banned Monkey King even. Interesting there. Dr. Pulsar and Dark Lady coming out for Nullstone. There's a Vindicator ban coming out from Sync to finish it off. So I would not be surprised to see Nullstone Gaming go a keeper here. Maybe to assist with that. Again, very similar to what they do in that game. But
And I mean, there's the bands that are definitely strong against sort of a potential all-in sort of strength lineup. Obviously, Dark Lady and Silhouette, late game carries that can go toe to toe with sort of tanky lineups. Because obviously, tanky heroes are great against sort of early burst, but against sort of late game, they just simply can't go toe to toe with them. So banning them out here is the right play to make. But for Zinc, I think they might have a little bit better understanding of obviously the game mechanics and might draft some kind of late game carry here. Because I'm pretty sure that they'll know what the game plan is for Nullstone Gaming. So expect perhaps probably a jungler here, and then maybe another late game carry, like even maybe Magebane, perhaps Moon Queen, for example. I mean, I think most of the heroes that Flensmeister plays have been banned out actually, but at the same time, I mean, Sync don't play a lot of hard late game carry. But there's the Wretched Hag, so maybe they're just happy to sort of go toe to toe with the Drunken Master and Wretched Hag as their late game carry against a potential very tanky lineup from Nullstone Gaming.
yeah, that perhaps so. Wretched Hag indeed picked up for Sync. Definitely Sync-esque there as far as their options go. So, hey, they could go Lord Salforce Keeper here. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I think they should go Keeper because it's just strong against Wretched Hag and Drunken Master. But going Lord Salforce, I just don't think I mean, it can definitely work, but I think they picked up the Lord Salforce because obviously to sort of somewhat counter the Malikans Enchanted Flames. But at the same time, it is very similar, but they are going to pick up Bubbles here. Strong against Wretched Hag, which they might have had a little bit of difficulty sort of shutting down, or at least locking down if they went sort of full strength hero. So I think Bubbles is the correct choice, but I think they could easily go Keeper of the Forest here. They can maybe just run Oogie in the safe lane and Kraken Rhapsody mid, or just put Rhapsody supporting Oogie in the top lane with Kraken solo mid. They've got quite a lot of options here, but I think Keeper should be picked up if it's on the board before Zinc do it.
Yeah, they got the Bubbles. So the final pick now coming out for Sync. What will that end up being here? And they're going to put some thought into this one. For some reason, I still can't see the town. It's really weird. Get the bug here with the shield in the way. Anyways, I'm sure there's not much time left coming out here, but we'll see what that ends up being. Okay. Can't say I saw that one coming. Now, I will say when I happened to be just monitoring one of the games earlier just to check in, they actually did run a Legionnaire against their first round opponents, which was what? Rexstars? Yeah, Rexstars. So, saw it in the hands of Slapped. Definitely. Again, this is another with the new drafter. We'll possibly start seeing a couple of different heroes than we're used to seeing with the team, even like Sync. So, Legionnaire.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad Zinc are somewhat changing their play because I mean, if you lose like one series in the way you sort of play, then you kind of have to sort of somewhat switch up something, because in that respect, you can't keep doing the same thing, because otherwise you're going to eventually start losing because the other team knows how to play it. But here's the War Beast, and I think in this case, I think War Beast can work because, like I said before, whenever you pick up War Beast, you're gonna sort of lose out in terms of early aggression, early sort of rotations. But seeing as Zinc have actually picked up Legionnaire, you're not going to see a lot of early game rotations because obviously Legionnaire is quite a passive jungler as well. So you can do passive versus passive, but you can't go passive versus aggressive. So in this case, I think Warbeast can work, and again another strength hero break as well. So might play a factor in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, but we talked about it earlier, what you got, what he's really known for is that Warbeast initially. So, sure enough, he gets his hands on it here. And he's also known for playing the occasional Legionnaire, speaking of that. And, they were kind of having fun right there as saw that pick come out. But definitely interested to see how this all plays out here. Again, Slap's getting his hands on that Legionnaire. And looking forward to seeing game is all frozen, right? His impact here in this game. So, Legionnaire is definitely one of those very interesting junglers as well. He has a lot. He could go the route of just sitting back and farming pretty much until he gets something like a Helm and the Portal Key, or he could be a little more active early on. It levels up that charge perhaps, as well as the taunt, especially earlier on in the game, to be of assistance. So,
in this case, I think he's going to sort of sit back and farm, because the only people who can really sort of gank would be obviously the Bubbles in the short lane, because this was the closest lane to him. But trying to really gank a Bubbles isn't really going to be really possible. And second of all, is he could obviously maybe potentially gank mid, but seeing as he's against a Kraken and Raps, it's going to be really hard to sort of maybe find the opportunity to sort of go for a gank. And if you go for sort of an aggressive build on Legionnaire, it's very, very risky. Like, I used to play Legionnaire back in the day all the time, and if you go for these ganks and you fail them, you're going to drop 70, 80, even 90 GPM, and it's not the way to play him in that respect. I think we're going to see maybe a passive Legionnaire until maybe like he might even miss the Helmblood Legion, go straight Portal Key, and then try and get aggressive with that. But until the Portal Key, I don't think we're going to see too much out of Zlaps, unless obviously the opportunity presents itself, for example. But in the meantime, I think he's going to be busy just farming as much as possible.
This is some fun coming out right here between the two teams as we are sitting in this pause. I'm not exactly sure what we're for, but we'll be just getting some things figured out, I guess. But how's the other game started yet? I know when we were finishing up this one, the other one hadn't yet. It looks like, are they actually in a game? They are, so they are getting started with their series over there. So, yeah, it's safe to say, we'll of course, stay with this series here and see where this one ends up. But, worst case, again, could jump into the other one.
Damn time.
Finishes up sooner than later, but Shrek His Love versus Willowkeeper, the other series that was delayed this whole time. It looks like we've been over an hour here, but they're just getting started with their game number one. And let's keep an eye on that. Again, Shrek His Love, the momentum coming off that game, or the series victory even, over Bad Monkey Gaming in the first round. So back to this game, though. It looks like coming on the pause, we are going to be good to go here. So again, Sync with that 1-0 lead, going to see the Oogie. And we definitely saw the potential of the Oogie in that game one against Dawn as far as really just damage and staying alive, especially with the primal surge of his. So talking about maybe different, though, this style, especially with stuff like the Drunken Master here, and being able to lock down the physical presence. So going to be of concern. Laning situation doesn't look like so far anything too out of the ordinary. Drunken going to be heading towards top, being played by KZ, of course. You got Warbeast, actually. Interesting. Is he going to go aggressive jungle here? No, he's just kind of okay. Maybe check a Conqueror if anything, but I mean,
I think he's going to pull the suicide lane. Yeah, it's going to be a suicide pull.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because now it's going to give Bubbles a very easy time in the lane. I don't think Nullstone Gaming knew that Pyromancer was going to be mid, so just to be on the safe side, it's best just to pull for him. And even if he's a 1v1, pulling is just the right play to make, because it's not really going to impact Warby's farm too much. I think he's going to miss one sort of summon the Hellhounds in that respect, but not the biggest of deals. So.
Yeah.
Just going to give Bubbles a bit of lane control. But yeah, I think going back to the Legionnaire, he'll only start getting aggressive if he can find the opportunity in middle lane, because I don't think it's going to really happen bottom lane, unless maybe Bubbles uses the shell surf. But he's going to be busy farming as much as possible.
Jeez, that is really a crazy pull right there. By the time the bottom creep wave actually starts running out, there's going to be close to another spawn happening. So
And this is quite good though, because when Flensmeister tries and catch the wave, Bubbles can start auto attacking him, so it forces Flensmeister to actually take him back to the tower, because otherwise he will just take too much damage if he tries to sort of delay the creep wave as much as possible. So now, not only does it reduce the regen on Wretched Hag, but also gives lane control on Bubbles, and also, I mean, Wretched Hag is one of the worst heroes to actually last hit under the tower, particularly if Bubbles is in the mix as well. So just a great rotation already coming out from. Will be some on what you got, and wouldn't expect anything other, really, I guess, from probably one of the best Warbeast junglers in the game.
Of course, and yeah, sure enough, he is in his own jungler. No, we talked about this before too, though. You know, the definite downside of a jungling Warbeast is that he usually won't level up the battle cry. I mean, it's not out of the question, but it seems like more so than not we see his passive leveled up instead. But we'll see what you got goes here. Again, I believe it will be the passive in the end. Of course, that takes away a little bit from his team presence earlier on in the game. There you go.
So yeah, something really, really interesting actually. They've actually used a second ward of sight to actually give not only block, not even block, but actually just to give vision of this yellow and medium camp over here from Warbeast. And I'm not too sure of honestly the sort of the thought behind that, because they had this this rune ward in the top lane to sort of spot any rotations come out from Warbeast. So to just give vision of him farming, there has to be something going on here coming out from Zinc, maybe like an early rotation come out from maybe Pyromancer and Drunken Master to try and gank him perhaps, but I mean, because other than that I don't really see why they'd waste a second ward of sight unless something was going to happen in that respect.
I definitely think that's it. I mean, it's a case of sure they could have blocked the yellow camp with it, but then at the cost of possibly getting counter-warded easily. They just simply want the vision, if anything. As you see right, that was a little bit of miscommunication, big time even. As far as the angle of the push right there for Drunken Master, it's Raptor going to find she is, and it might come at a cost right. No, the Phoenix Wave was in range. It actually connects and gets the kill. Look at Warbeast though, he's blocking with the wolves. He's trying to. Now the Warbeast himself, he's actually in a little bit of trouble. He needs to be careful. Obviously he's clearly focusing on that micro, and in the end Drunken Master is going to survive. So, damn, I'm surprised that was in range to kill Raptor. I think she might have turned around and that's what got her with the Phoenix Wave. So well played by Insania. Despite missing the Dragonfire stun initially. The miscommunication there. So, but yeah, I mean, so just simply to have the ward aside to see if he possibly gets low, and then to roam in there and maybe clean him up. But
we've seen him low now.
Yeah. Might be in some trouble. I mean, Pyromancer, does he have enough for a combo? He does. Uh-oh. Yeah, if he lands it, there you go. There's the stun, a couple auto attacks. Is it going to be enough? Is the question. One more auto attack, Phoenix Wave? It's just out of range. He needs one more, yeah. But now he's out of range of a Phoenix Wave, so he decides not to risk it, and in the end will fall back. So, but that's exactly why, though, right there. I have to try to pick him off, so. So sneaky. Interesting start to game number 2 here.
And I'm kind of a little bit surprised as well, actually. A top lane, Drunken might be... he should be fine in the end. Not enough damage, but yeah, I mean, in the meantime, like, Pyromancer was gone for the mid lane for about 2 minutes, perhaps, and yet Mickey still got 320 GPM. Like, you'd expect kind of maybe, Nelson going to try and take the advantage that they know, Pyromancer was in the mid lane, try and force out Mickey, even go for a kill, but for him to be still winning in terms of CS compared to Kraken is just absurd. They did try to go for the charge there, but did miss it in the end. Maybe ping's playing an issue, but yeah, it just. Again, man, Mickey never ceases to amaze me in terms of like the kind of plays he makes, man.
As great of a player as to be fair, I mean, Rhapsody was roaming a little bit too, and obviously ended up dying. So maybe it almost was like a 1v1 for a good portion of that. But bottom lane, indeed, yep, down goes Wretched Hag. So speaking of Legionnaire, what kind of impact? Guess what? He did get the taunt here at level 5. And
picks up Invis.
Sure enough. Oh, did he get the Invis too?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, like you wouldn't expect Legionnaire to gank outside of any kind of like big. Oh, top lane as well.
Yeah.
Wow, not looking good. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like Legionnaire, you can't really gank without him unless some kind of a big opportunity presents itself. And obviously picking up Invis is a free kill in that respect. So yeah, it's good roam count from Slaps. But yeah, I mean losing your short lane as well. Like if they were running, I think it was like dual support up here. Rhapsody was top for a little while as well, and like you can't have your short lane lose to their suicide in that respect, because like that's the one lane you need to have farm on, and if you look at the farm now, no one is above 300 GPM compared to say like 3 having all 300 GPM on the Zinc, and when you have a bad start like this, it's just looking very, very, very bad.
Magnus is cleaning up everything else there, and yeah, I mean, this is Magnus with 0 hero kills or assists, and he's 380 gold per minute 5 minutes into the game as a middle Magnus. Definitely doing a very, very good job going back to Mickey here. and his success. And you see right now, Kraken can't really do much other than kind of stand back, and he gets caught. It's susceptible to dying, definitely. So making sure that does not happen. Bottom lane, Wretched Hag being blocked by Creep, actually. Here comes a taunt, though, from Legionnaire. He didn't actually taunt right there, and down goes Wretched Hag. Legionnaire was silenced, which did prevent it from the top, but to decapitate to finish off Bubbles.
That's so
Enough damage coming out right there, so at least he gets some revenge.
Yeah, taunt was just in, like, the only way he can get vision of Bubbles there is obviously if Bubbles starts attacking him. Actually, top lane War Beast.
Is he fine? Yes, he's going to be fine, it looks like.
But yeah, so he taunted him, obviously forced Bubbles to start attacking him, and then he got vision of him and then ulted him from there. So, well play came out from Zlapt again. Two kills already, kind of a little bit surprising, but again, I think Bubbles playing a little bit aggressive. He did get the kill on Hag though, so probably worth it in that respect. So.
Yeah. This is feeling a lot like last game, but exact opposite. So, you know, obviously, Nolson had a very good start, very similar to this one that Sync's having here in game one. Now, again, clearly though, Sync did come out on top of that one though once they got the momentum rolling themselves. So Nullstone couldn't be on the same boat there. They really need some big fights to happen here. Now maybe this is okay. Top lane, I was gonna say maybe they can try to gank Drunken as he goes in aggressive, but weren't nearby, and so it's gonna be fine. Bubbles actually, he's pretty low here at the bottom lane. Is gonna be forced to regen here.
Back blast from Flensmeister, but he actually had the mana battery as well. So.
And apparently he DC'd, so. Missing a kill chance, perhaps. Yeah, a little bit of lag coming out. So, but Bubbles, Fuzzy Sloth, he does stay alive and is able to avoid death right there. Top lane, Drunken Master. The tar pits are connecting, but now Oogie's actually in trouble. Gets turned on. Has another tar pit coming out. Will get the kill. Promise start chilling him out, but here comes Legionnaire. You know that's going to be a kill most likely. He has to decapitate. Will it even be necessary? He says, why the hell not? He uses it anyways. That's a crazy animation, man, on that avatar.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've actually even seen that one before, but anyways.
An interesting build as well. He's actually gone bottle in this respect, so most likely not even going to go for the Helm of Black Legion. And again, I mean, we talked about some kind of junglers. In this meta, you can't play a passive jungler, and even though Legionnaire can easily farm very, very high, even like around 400 GPM, he's becoming active. And if you compare that to War Beast, he's only got 230 GPM, and clearly Zlap's having such a bigger impact compared to this War Beast already in the early game, and it's just gonna get worse as well. I'm not too familiar with what kind of Zlap goes next though, but I mean, if this sort of early aggression is going to continue, I'd assume maybe a Portkey straight after the phase boots or the Ghost Marchers.
Yeah.
And why not? Obviously, it's working for him now, getting aggressive. He's already picked up a TP as well, so he caused the gank in the top lane. And I guess playing aggressive is the way to go, making an impact in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think Portkey is on, mainly just because he went the bottle here. You usually would see maybe the Helm of the Black Legion beforehand, but the idea of that is that it helps you farm a little bit more effectively. You get the health regen. The bottle, though, kind of takes care of that, as well as the mana purpose for that matter. So you have the Ghost March, get the bottle, gets that Portkey earlier on, will be a very, very aggressive early ganking target. So not 100%, but it seems like that could very likely be the direction that Zlap is heading for here. But yeah, this is definitely new for us. He did play it earlier, but obviously we weren't catching that game. Now, you do compare it to the Warbeast. Sure, he's having a much better time right now, but later game presence, no doubt Warbeast definitely shines there. Middle lane, they try to get Kraken. He's going to be fine. TP, yeah, that's going to be canceled. Pyromancer lining up the stun. They were ready to go, so whoever that was eventually stops it. I think that might have been Bubbles even, as he's now running over from the bottom side. Is there going to be a rune there? No, there's not. This middle tower, invulnerability comes out. There is a double damage on Kraken. TP does come in. There's another one. They're going to try to make something happen here. Here comes the side for Bubbles. Can he maybe get a big Kelfield off? Yes, he has a chance as they go on to Kraken, though. Kraken falls. Here comes that Kelfield, but with Kraken dead, will they be able to capitalize? Legionnaire goes down. In comes the eruption from Kaiser right there on Magnus. Oogie's going to be locked down. Oogie problem search up. It doesn't matter. He's locked down long enough, gets the kill, and now Bubbles in a bad spot. The stun out of him. Bubbles going to end up falling, and Sync Esports will come out on top of this fight pretty big time. Rhapsody also goes down. They try to kill Drunken. He will kill Drunken, at least in the end, but still a favorable fight in favor of Sync.
It's so strange though, because I don't understand why Nullstone Gaming are really trying to take these team fights though, because you've got a hero that does absolutely nothing in terms of team fights. They're playing 4v5, though they easily defended the tier 1 once the TPs came in. Zinc, they respected their TPs, they backed off. Yeah, they try to force something, and when you've got like a Warbeast that offers absolutely nothing in terms of at least 20 to 30 minutes, it cost them that team fight. Every single player on Zinc is offering something to team fight, but for what you got, even if he had great farm, he wouldn't be offering too much. But with low farm and just sort of low levels, he just doesn't offer anything in his early engagements. And just the sort of forcing of the team fight from Nelson game was just complete misplay coming out from that team there.
And you see the Legionnaire definitely up there on the charts of farming junglers. And again, his skill set kind of speaks to that. He maybe has the little initial hump, not as strong as, say, Ophelia or Parasite, but once he gets over that initial hump, I mean, it gets pretty radical as far as how quickly he can start to farm in that jungle. So he has another 1,000 gold saved up here, has the Ghost Marchers, the bottle, and again, continue to look pretty good for him and his team. Magnus, though, you talk about Mickey, he was MVP last game, no doubt, with the prisoner plays. Having a big game once again here, 433 gold per minute. They're going to be looking to gank you on a Warbeast. Warbeast, he doesn't have a clue. He's going to ulti farm, but the launch connects. The stun to follow. Will they have enough follow-up damage? It's going to be close. He has a haste speed, of course, a stagger in. No, it's not going to happen. So at least Warbeast with the ulti form gets away before he is taken out right there. So Stone came in, doing enough to stay alive earlier on in this game, 11.5 minutes in. He does have the Abyssal Skull finish with those red boots, so what you got's managing actually okay farm here for his start. Top of the charts for their team is Oogie at 318. Again, he went the Gnome's Wisdom that game 1 against Dawn. He does have a Ring of the Teacher, but yeah, so it looks like he's going to be going for it again here.
Yeah, obviously 2 of those components make Gnome's Wisdom. In this game, though, in the first series against Dawn, it really did synergize not only with him, but with the Lord South Forest as well, because of the spammy sort of nature of it. But with Bubbles and Warbeast, it doesn't offer that kind of spamming potential. Middle lane, Kraken. Oh man, Pyromancer are so... Like any other support there, that Kraken survives, but because of Pyromancer, maybe Witchslayer would kill him as well, but you see like the impact of these supports though, top lane as well.
Yeah, a lot of loud noises going on. Oogie's going to be fine though. Speaking of those loud noises, protect the Melody comes out. Rhapsody, now she's going to be gone though. Oogie holding the ground though, has those tar pits. Look at the damage coming out. Will take out Drunken. Wow, Rhapsody is picked up. Tar pit, it will connect to the Legionnaire, but the Haster coming through, but in comes the kill, but the Legionnaire still somehow alive. The Silence seems to decapitate. No, couldn't get up, but that's done from Magnus. Gets the kill, and now Oogie's trying to run away. Will he be fine? Probably not. The dot damage doing enough, and in the midst of that all, the Legion Courier was actually picked off actually in the middle lane by Warbeast right here. So the power supply recipe actually drops on the ground as well as a mana battery. Again, you can't see that, so it will remain there, but a little bit of a downside there for Sync. But overall, again, Sync coming out on top of that fight against Oogie, who was able to at least live as long as he did at the top side. And Magnus, yeah, he already has the Portal Key in hell. He's already working towards a tablet now. Major Totem picked up at 13 minutes into this game, so his impact is going to continue to be pretty big. Speaking of impact, bottom lane, Drunken Master showing its impact to Kraken. Now going to hero block him a little bit. He has actually support coming in. Who is that? Is that Magnus? It is. I don't think it's going to get close. Oh, no, he's definitely going to get close enough. Is Magnus going to stun? Of course Mickey is. Where is he? There he is. He's stunts in. Release the Kraken comes out. Will end up falling, but it comes at a cost. Drunken Master goes down. So maybe a little bit too much commitment there from the side of Sync.
Yeah, Magnus should be fine coming out as well. But I mean, this Warbeast, like, he had a little bit of an impact there. When the team fight was going top, he was trying to pressure into the middle lane, but he's just AFK farming at the moment, and yes, obviously he needs his farm, but I think he should be trying to focus on other objectives now. Try and get, like, he can take Conga easily. Like, he's got the Abyssal Skull, he's got, like, lead level 10 as well, and if maybe, like, another person rotates over, he can get that Conga. They obviously got the Hellborn advantage, but now the tier 1 tower dead mid, it's going to be a little bit harder for him in that respect. But like in these competitive matches, like, you have to have an impact in the game from start to finish, and Warbeast just kind of hasn't, and that's why they're kind of far behind, because everyone on Sync has been involved. Like, you see even Legionnaire's got, like, he's been involved in like 7 hero kills, and like for Warbeast he's been 0, 0, and 0. Like, you just simply can't have that in terms of like competitive matches, particularly going against Sync as well. Like, you have to have an impact in the game.
Well, again, it does go back to earlier, though. We're talking about comparison maybe to Legionnaire and the Warbeast. And Warbeast series still remaining behind in the GPM, but late game presence, he no doubt is going to fall into the kind of the late game role, carry role even, if we get to that point, of course. And also, gaming, it's safe to say they're going to be definitely trying to bank on that. Magnus actually TPing out. Yeah, he will be able to. As they're going for the middle lane in the meantime. TP lasted a while. I was wondering why it's taking so long, but he's TPing to the middle lane. And sure enough, assist for the kill on a Kraken right there. Slapped with the Decapitate to finish him off. So Slap, speaking of him, 4-2-4
Picked up the portal key as well.
And yeah, showing off the portal key right there on top of it all. So by the way, they also have 4 bottles here on the side of Sync. We were talking about Legionnaire's bottle earlier, but 4 of the 5 heroes actually have bottles. And actually, speaking of one of those, they're going for Warbeast, but TP comes in from Oogie. And that's going to be enough to kind of scare them off initially, at least. So, but yeah, that's kind of an interesting idea there. Not usually what we see. Bubbles, bottle, it's just back and forth, man.
Man, this Legionnaire is so sick though. Like, and you're talking about the late game presence as well. But I mean, Legionnaire has a lot of late game presence because of obviously his taunt goes through strong ahead. So he's arguably one of the best initiators in terms of the late game because obviously he can have like a 3-second sort of physical stun. Plus obviously the plus 20 armor as well. And the Decapitate is definitely something that shouldn't be underrated, particularly against like, sort of late game carries. If they go behind, below like 500, 600 HP, you can just completely destroy them. So. I mean, it's really awesome to actually see sort of Legionnaire being picked up in the competitive scene. For the longest time, he was never picked up, but it's good to see Zeke actually finding a use for him in this game.
Now, that's definitely a fair point. The 3-second AoE physical stun, in a sense, as you pointed out, I mean, that's basically what it is. And obviously, meaning it goes through Shrunken Head, so that is definitely a key initiation tool for that later game stage. Now, speaking of Shrunken Head, Legionnaire actually picks up a Mighty Blade. And, I was going to put... Do you think? That's what I was going to say. You think that's actually going to turn into a staff?
Man, staff is incredibly good. Like it's core on this hero now because the only issue I think if he does pick up staff is that he might have a couple of mana issues. Like whenever you pick up staff on Legionnaire, obviously it resets all your cooldowns, so you need to have a strong mana pool. That's why sometimes we see Icon of the Goddess, but in this case I think staff is the right choice to go. He obviously needs to get a little bit tanky because obviously he has missed the Helmblood Legion, but I mean staff is so strong. Like he can instantly almost take 2 heroes out of the game before the team fight even starts if he has the right initiation. So it is definitely core on him, and I mean I don't think he'd go strong ahead in this game. Simply because obviously like he's going against Kraken, he's going against some good physical presence from Warbeast, but top lane though.
Yeah, well, bottom lane I'm even watching, but yeah, back to the top lane. Oki, he's going to be gone on. He's trying to take over the Primal Surge, go for a Catacomb, denying the tower right there. Look, he's still alive, man. That Primal Surge doing some work. Tarpon again. He misses. Can he get the kill on the trigger? He can! Oki's showing his power once again right here. Primal Surge is going to wear off, so he needs to get back. As Eruption's being channeled, though. Stun in. No, he's just out of range. He's starting to get there. Yes, it will be enough, though. The Eruption was doing enough damage, and Wretched Hag gets the kill. But yeah, that was definitely a good show right there. Bottom lane in the meantime, however, Fuzzy Sloth is picked up. And so as pretty as that was, they still lose 2 heroes in the process, including Oogie. So that's not good. And something I was going to bring up too and noticing more and more, the lack of initiation factor on the Tough team. It's just like last game. It's hurting them right now. They don't have a portal key out. Bubbles are cracking currently. They're not going to have it for a little bit even longer at this point. They really need that to have some good chances. Now in the middle lane, Magnus does go in. Rhapsody has no chance right here. She's going to be locked down. Can they go crack? It's not the question. He actually takes Magnus with him. Might not have been the best decision for him, but can he actually ultimately escape? Magnus does not want to let that happen, but he may have to. As his teammate falls back to finish off in the background on a Warbeast, and now Kraken. Okay, he's going for the counter kill. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Ultimate Warrior streak now coming out for Mickey as he's 4-0-8 here at this point. So, yeah, I think Sync is getting to that point of no return for Nullstone Gaming, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Legionnaire, man, just had such a big impact. Like, I did like the Warbeast pick up because it did make sense, but the way Slaps played this Legionnaire, man, he was clearly the MVP. Like 6-2 and 6 had such a strong impact, and if you compare it to Warbeast, it's not the same. It really just isn't the same. And particularly in the meta right now, like you need to have like a good early start because obviously if you win the early game, you have such a big advantage due to obviously how the golden experience is working right now. And Zlat's made it work when everyone else just hasn't really found the opportunity to really run Legionnaire, but he's found a way to do it, and it's working very, very well as shown here. So. And not only that, but like he has like a partner to sort of gank with as well. Obviously the portal key from Magnus as well as the blink from Hag. So almost any lane he can set a gank up with. It's just perfect. But it looks like he's just going to go for the Shrunken Head though. So Warhammer is picked up.
Okay. Yeah, decided to go the Shrunken Head in the end, and it's for a hero like Legionnaire, I do feel like that's almost a little odd. I know he's kind of the jump in initiating hero. But at the same time, once he's jumped in and, thrown out the taunt and done it, he's kind of done his job in a sense. And I guess so having the mobility to constantly move around and eventually decapitate people is nice at the same time. So, yeah, I can see it both ways. Kelfield's also one of those tools that having a shrunken head against is very, very powerful.
Oogie does a lot of damage
and
as
then
well.
there's Oogie, yeah. I guess that kind of hit me at the last second. So now that I'm looking at that especially, okay, fine. Shrunken head, I just wanted to see staff damage, but...
Yeah, I think we might see Staff. Like, I mean, I think the game's going to be over before then, but I really think Staff is like, it's not even a troll item. It's like on most heroes it is a little bit troll, like Blacksmith for example, but on Legionnaire it's core. Honestly, it's such a strong item. The only issue you have is mana issues, which I think maybe his lab sort of decided that he needs a bit more defensive capabilities, and even if he does go Staff, he won't have the mana to really utilize it to its best sort of effect. So in that case, it is. But I mean, like having like 2 taunts in one team fight, like it's just massive. Like 6 seconds of physical lockdown in late game, that can be game changing. Like seeing us like Tempest is only like 4 seconds, I believe. 5? 4.
4 seconds, I believe. Yeah.
Exactly. So 4. Yeah, it's 4.
Wow, the Ancients being taken out by Sync right there. You see Bubbles coming in with the Kelfield, actually. They're going to go for a pick. That's a support Pyromancer, though, remember. So, quite a bit used to just get that Pyromancer. And actually, this may turn for Sync if they're not careful. Here we go. Legionnaire rush from each other in the background. Magnus stuns in. Down goes Rhapsody off the bat. Magnus going to catch Warbeast as well. He is still in the ultimate form, not for long, though. He comes out, all of a sudden, not nearly as fast. And most likely going to be picked up as a result. Just barely staying alive. Blue goes down, though, when it's all said and done. You look at Legionnaire. He is running away. Magnus doesn't want to, though. Legionnaire is waiting to go back in, though. In fact, he does. He goes into Bubbles in the background. Has to decapitate, ready to go. No, he doesn't have mana for it. He's going to go auto attack for auto attack. In the meantime, Magnus is picked off. Wretched Hag trying to hold her ground. She has to blink away. Oogie barely still alive. Will fall in the end. But Kraken takes out Legionnaire at least. And now Cholo Samian on the run. It is a 2 versus 2. Make that a 3 versus 2 as Magnus comes back in with the buyback, and they clean up. Basically a genocide, we'll call it, in favor of Sync Esports. Rhapsody resurrected just before, but yeah, pretty much genocide of 22 minutes in. So more positive for Sync that they are looking towards a 2-0 victory here over at Nullstone Gaming. So again, Nullstone, they have a Warbeast who, by the way, is going for a puzzle box.
Love
okay.
it. Yeah, it's the right item choice to go, because not only does it allow him to have some kind of team fight presence, but also allows him to go split pushing as well if he needs to, which he kind of. Like if the game was sort of closer, he would need to sort of maybe split push as well. And puzzle box is perfect, obviously, because it can take effect of the primal rage and the battle cry as well. And I think it's the right play to play him. Or the right way to play him. Normally, we see like strong right-hitting kind of carries, like I think we normally see like Savage.
Now,
and
hold on, I got to commentate
on
that. Did Warbeast do what I just think he did? Yeah. He actually destroyed the token of life with his Hellhounds. So Ninja's a token right there, in a sense, from Sync. So, hey, there's something. It takes that away, I guess.
I don't think it matters. No, it's fine. Coming off as much. I don't think it matters too much, though, because they're so far ahead, and I mean, Warbeast does have the level 1 puzzle box, but he's just not as much as he needs to be still. But here comes the team fight, though. Yeah.
Well, actually, Magnus at the top lane in the farm, but yeah, in the meantime, the team fight down here. Drunken Master, he takes the stun from the Kelfield. He is going to end up being bursting out in the long run. Wretched Hag gets caught, and she has to blink in 1 second. She will get it off in time. So Sync not necessarily all together right here, and that's definitely playing a role. Kraken goes in. He's looking to find this Wretched Hag. But I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, Wretched Hag, she's waiting patiently. The lockdown onto Oogie from Legionnaire. But again, Oogie, he is good to go. He's got the Primal Surge up. Shrunken it on Legionnaire, trying to just kite. This is why he got to side him. It is going to be wearing off right there, though. Charge coming out. The puzzle box Mauler also exploded. And down goes Legionnaire. But now Mickey's turn comes in with the eruption. Unfortunately, not the prettiest follow-up. They have a Bat Blast, but Flensmeister refusing to use it right there. He wants a better time and release Kraken. Also not the misplacement. Either coming out. The patience from Sync, man. They're stunning on a Warbeast. And he goes down. Back over here, though, Legionnaire was picked off. So, I mean, numbers-wise, Nullstone is coming out on top of this fight here.
The throws are real, Breaky.
The throws are a little bit real.
I think. Yeah, everyone should be fine, I assume. Perhaps?
Magnus, maybe? Magnus is like, what's up, guys? Okay, he's going to be stunned out by Rhapsody. Well, that was silly. Trans. Oh, they're going to miss the follow-up. I was going to say, at least they're going to get a counter kill, but never mind. The charge misses, and it's even worse now. However, Oogie does clean up Wretched Hag. This is a sloppiness all over, man. Bubbles now gets caught. He's going to survive, though. Nice charge into the tree right there. And Drunken Master makes him fall. Down goes Magnus, actually. Drunken goes down. And a near genocide in favor of Nullstone Gaming all of a sudden. So now the throws may be a little real.
Yeah, it just goes back to honestly Sync. Not team fighting us 5. Like they got picked off one by one, just a little bit sloppy play, but still not the biggest of deals. They're still like 12,000 gold up now, 7,000 and a half experience up, and just. I mean, obviously the comeback's definitely there. You saw how strong Oogie actually is, but I mean, is it a potential? Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's there. No, dude, 100%. I mean, I really feel like No Stone Gaming, because it's not only Oogie. I mean, it's Warbeast. The Warbeast has a puzzle box. Now, I guess, okay, there is that to look at. Yeah, Warbeast is going the puzzle box route. That's why I know you were saying earlier that actually, you love it and everything. It makes sense here, but it does take away a little bit from his carry presence. At least makes it a little longer.
Does so much damage. Like, in terms of teamfight now, he can do incredible amounts of damage, and in terms of late game carry, he can just put the puzzle box on the courier, like, if he gets that late.
Yeah.
In that respect. So I definitely think it's the right item choice to make. Like, sometimes we see, like, after the Abyssal, we see maybe, like, Shrunken or Soul's Bulwark. But, I mean, I think he'll definitely do Shrunken, but I think the puzzle box is the right way to go, because it's so much synergy. Like, I'm surprised we didn't see it before, but like 3 out of the 4 of the abilities can really take effect of the puzzle box. So in that respect, it's just kind of a no-brainer that he should really pick up the puzzle box. And yeah, it kind of reduces late game potential, but not really, because obviously in terms of one less item slot, he can just put it on the courier in itself. So.
Oh, okay, this is interesting. He's in that ulti form. He gets caught eventually by the Magma Stun, and there's Decapitate to guarantee the job as it does. So
this Legionnaire avatar, man.
I know, right? It's just so epic. It's like so many things are happening.
Lightning.
All this lightning coming out, man. So gets big. What is this here? Magmas can't be ignored. Over 400 gold per minute. Wow, that hero does not lose. 17-0 when Magnus farms over 400 gold per minute. Yeah, he's just one of those really strong initiators. Just talking about Legionnaire being a strong initiator. Magnus obviously up there as the best in the game, and especially when he has farm like that, you can guarantee something like a sheepstick eventually and so on. So yeah, Sync, again, the throws may be a little real to an extent, but at the same time, they are in a very good spot. It does go back to that. Oogie actually a Blessed Orb picked up. Does he have any charges? No, he doesn't have any charges on the icon yet. Does have that Blessed Orb, though, towards an eventual sheepstick, I would guess. I mean, he continues to actually farm very well here. It's just a hero that most certainly can flash farm with the best of them. With the items that he has, especially. So not surprising to see him up there. Wretched Hag, it's, believe it or not, pretty rare. Flensmeister specifically leading his team in GPM. 480 gold per minute. Managing to do that here, in fact, leading the overall game as a result. Bottom first tower, it's still up. In fact, they're going to try to bait this out here as Kraken stuns in on a Wretched Hag. They're going for the counter. Oh, they're tapping over the ledge. They can't get to him. In fact, now Oogie in a lot of trouble. Doesn't want to commit too much, but Magma says you already did, bitches. In comes the eruption. Blazing strike hits Oogie. They're protected about it. It was out of range. It was just out of range, I believe. Anyways, he got pushed backwards. Oogie goes down. Down goes Rhapsody. And what could have been a pretty big fight for No Stone Gaming. The bait was real in favor of Sync. And now the chase is on. Kraken's on the run. Bubbles also has Kelpfield, by the way. He would use it very defensively right here, though. Yeah, not going to use it at all because it wouldn't have mattered. So down goes Kraken. And Sync comes on top big time with numbers right there. So Barbed Armor also just delivered a Legionnaire, actually, to follow up the Shrunken Head. That's kind of one of those interesting combos.
Yeah, he picks up Shrunken and Barbed. I mean, a little bit counter synergy.
It is interesting, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's almost like a second Shrunken Head, though, isn't it? Where when your Shrunken Head's down, you just pop Barbed Armor to help try to at least ideally prevent more damage coming out to you.
He will. I don't think that's going to happen though. Like, I guess kind of ish, but I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of it because it's kind of a little bit counter synergy. But the item's great though, particularly for Legionnaire as well.
Of course, yeah. What better hero than Legionnaire, you know, saying, attack me while I pop Barbed Armor.
Kane?
Well, okay. Well, at the same time, though, too, I mean, that kind of brings out another thing where Taunt is also counterintuitive to a Barbed Armor because it does give you 20 armor. So that in itself is also a little...
It's fine to get Barbed Armor because obviously it's good against obviously the magical presence, but if you pick up the Shrunken Head as well, it's like a little bit counter synergy because it stops any magical damage. But at the same time, so maybe it's less about the damage he's taking, but more against the sort of the free of the control. Obviously, he can stop obviously the Kelpfield and the slow from Tarquake as well. So I guess not the biggest of deals. And I mean, I guess what else would he really go for? Like maybe Harp perhaps, but he doesn't really need to be that tanky because. Like he's obviously got his team to back him up as well, and if he goes too tanky, then the heroes just won't sort of focus him in that respect. Could have gone Star.
Yeah, Yeah, there you go. Could have gone Staff. Could have gone Soul's Bulwark and Demonic. I mean, they do have a Drunken Master, but Drunken went a Hellflower, to be fair. And I would assume he's going to follow up with the Souls here, but...
Yeah, most likely. But I mean, one item build was quite popular was Hellflower into Staff the Master, because obviously, like I said before, you really have a lot of mana issues with Legionnaire. But if you go Hellflower, then it sort of rectifies that. And Hellflower is so strong against Oogie, because obviously Oogie is inherently tanky because of his ultimate. But if you obviously stop him from casting spells, then there goes his tankiness in that respect. And obviously, the Hellflower is like 4.5 seconds of silence. And obviously stops from any items as well, so I suppose he can go for it. But there's Legionnaire taking out Rhapsody as well. But yeah, I think Hellflower Staff would have been perfect in my personal opinion. But still finding it work, obviously with the Shrunken Barb, so not the biggest of deals.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Again, with the hero we don't see often, it's just one of those things too. It's like, okay, well, diversity is going to happen, especially maybe a little bit different than what you would expect. But hey, safe to say, Slap has been making this work. 12, 4, and 10. The stats got to back him up there. He has 2,500 gold saved up as well, so going to get an idea of where he may head next with his item progression. Sheepstick, though, picked up by Magnus. Of course, a very big pickup here in favor of the Legion team. You got the Shrunken Egg Grimoire combo on Wretched Hag. They feel that this is a pretty good time to make something happen. No token or anything like that, but they're going to be pushing this top lane. Now, as I say that, Nullstone actually finished on Oogie. Interesting. So instead of going something like a Sheepstick, he actually gets a Nullstone with that Blessed Orb. Now, Legionnaire is a great hero to have a Nullstone against. Pyromancer, for example, as well, and for that matter. So I guess I'm seeing some good logic here to get Nullstone on Oogie.
And the lunge from Drunken as well. It's pretty decent. It just gives him that extra kind of regen, because although Icon's decent, he hasn't got any charges of it, so he needs that kind of regen from the Nullstone, because it's his base kind of regen instead of the kind of unreliability from the Icon, depending on how many kills he's got. So I think the item's fine. Obviously, it helps him get a little bit more tanky as well, and gives him the regen. Kind of perfect item for Oogie, regardless of who you're against, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's safe to say good item on him because of how the hero works, of course. So Zlap's current single game kills high. What? Single game kill high. Okay, it's 13. I was like, sentences, tough to read. Tempest first bad monkey game. What does he have right here? Oh, he has 12. So there you go. He's trying to beat that. And
13 kills on a Tempest.
On a Tempest, yeah. That's not that's not usually a killing hero necessarily, but just so happened that it's worked out for him. So, but yeah, Legionnaire more of a killing hero definitely with that decapitate. Going for that here.
Yeah.
3,400 gold more saved up on Hack. So again, a lot more gold. You can tell that they want to try to go for Conqueror. I mean, last time obviously the token was destroyed by Horby, so it's well played by him. So in a sense, we haven't really had a token use here. Warbeast does have level 3 puzzle box, by the way. I mean, his farm continues to not be
late
good.
though. Yeah, like if he had this maybe 20 minutes, like he would be absolutely dominant. But like 33 minutes level 3 puzzle box, it really loses its effectiveness after Shrunken Heads are being picked up, because obviously it just doesn't really matter. But yeah, like level 3 puzzle box, like he's only 280 GPM, and for a 33-minute game, and for a hero that can get a lot of farm, it's just a little bit annoying.
Yeah. These teams have been having a fun time with one another as far as the the shenanigans in chat here. Just picking on a good old Insignia. Middle lane, possible action, Drunken Master. Nope, never mind. They fall back actually, so no jump there. Obviously, Kraken and Bubbles have their portal keys. They've had it for a little bit here. We were talking about that earlier, how that was a big, crucial missing component there for Nullstone Gaming, but they've had that now, and that no doubt will help. But yeah, you keep looking back on Warbeast, and I mean, again, he continues to honestly just do a lot of sitting in this middle lane, and I'm guessing he's, if anything, kind of scouting with the Wolves here, the Hellhounds, and getting some information, but
I mean, another issue though is, like, obviously I said with Warbeast, like you want to kind of have some kind of split pushing potential, so you pick up the puzzle box, but at the same time, if you look at who he's against, like Legionnaire is one of the best heroes to punish split pushes because of obviously the taunt, and like if you get him down to 600 HP, that's instant death. So if you think about it, Warbeast only kind of has like 100 HP, 1000 HP because obviously Legionnaire is in the game. So in that respect, like it's really hard for him to sort of split push, and at the same time, obviously he's lost a lot of map control, so he can barely farm anywhere. So I guess it's not too uncommon that he's only got 280 GPM, seeing as Oogie has soaked up a lot of the farm. So
again, another Blessed Orb picked up. I mean, look at how tanky Oogie is now. Actually, nearly 3,000 life. That's not something to scoff at there. I mean, that's Beaver Bangers really doing some work here on the Oogie. We saw earlier how difficult he began to kill. Kraken misses the charge. They were going for Legionnaire. He just hit the side of him and kind of skimmed by him right there. So, no charge action.
Yeah, so I mean, talking of Hellflower and Legionnaire, I said it because they sort of need to lock down Oogie, and it does work quite well in his skills. But Drunken Master picks up a Hellflower of his own, actually, so going to be useful in locking down Oogie in that respect.
That's a fun stat right there, you see. Yeah, Oogie is one of those kind of YOLO manly heroes. And speaking of actually, Rhapsody gets caught out here by the Sheepstick. Gonna be taken out. Now, they dove pretty far here. Big Kelpha coming out, Kraken with the charge, but Shrunken Head's RU's Oogie doing what he can. Bark Drummer on top of the Shrunken Head coming out from Legionnaire in the meantime. But pickoffs happening in favor of Nullstone Gaming. They're going for Legionnaire now. He's used his cooldowns really. He's gonna be picked off. And the Oogie coming through a 4-for-0 exchange in favor of Nullstone Gaming. Yeah, what was Sync doing again?
What just happened?
They just dove big time yet again.
Yeah, like, they really did overextend just for a Rhapsody as well. Like, I think it's 4 heroes all compromised their positioning there just to kill a Rhapsody. Like, if Magmus and Pyromox can easily kill the Rhapsody, but Insania was actually holding the Blazing Strike because obviously maybe he didn't expect to need it, or didn't think that, you know, it was the right choice to make it. But as a result, it cost both of I think it was Legionnaire and Drunken Master's position to sort of secure the kill. As a result, good counter initiation from Kraken and Bubbles, and again though, Oogie doing so much damage, man. Like, he's like top of the damage chart with 19%, and even the Wall Beast puzzle box is shown to do a lot of damage as well, particularly against like Drunken Master and Legionnaire that are so dependent on that mana as well. So. Yeah. Man, we've still got a game on our hands, I guess.
Exactly, and I gotta think, having fun's great, and I'm sure they've always been that kind of team that they like to troll to an extent, have fun, but you gotta start locking down, man, because I keep going back to, sure, the Warbeast has not had the greatest time, but Oogie's already, he's just continued to be a great presence, and he's showing that. But Warbeast, with that level 3 puzzle box, is now going to start farming into more aggressive actual carry items, such as the Souls into a Demonic. I mean, we'll see which direction he ultimately goes here, but that's the scariest thing for me for the Legion team. He actually is going to be a Shrunken Head, it looks like, instead. And, yeah, I mean, I get that. It's stop, of course, a lot of the crowd control, especially from the Magmus and Pyromancer here, but at the same time, he's still got a lot of physical, of course, Legionnaire, and especially that Drunken Master, so it's kind of one of those in-between items. But, yeah, makes sense. Nonetheless, but I think after that fight, I would like to believe that Six kind of realized that this game is definitely not won, and it hasn't been won yet. So they need to kind of close it down now, and that's going to be the ultimate goal here.
Rhapsody.
And starting with this, Rhapsody, yeah, that's a free kill? Yes, free kill. There you go, stagger in, and Drents gets taken out. Drents was just simply trying to ward, but that's one of those risky things. Life of a support. Kraken, he's not running it. What is he doing? I mean, okay. That's just, I don't get that at all. Your support just literally died in that spot 5 seconds ago. And he thought it'd be a good idea to go in himself. Okay, well. Now with him dead, I mean, he doesn't have a buyback, so we're talking about Sync kind of throwing here. I mean, Null's behind quite a bit, but they cannot be making plays like that.
Yeah, and now Pyromox just hit level 16 as well, so a lot of damage coming out from Zinc now as well. On top of obviously the initiation from Legionnaire.
Oh, wow, yeah.
They do have a token on Oogie, but no buyback from Kraken, so they're going to be fighting 45.
Oogie's level 23. Going to continue to try to show what he's made of. Has that Sheepstick, has the token alive. He has 8 charges on the icon. I mean, that is a scary, scary target right there. So no doubt with his team being behind, Sync is not feeling like they have an easy push by any means. And actually, I mean, that's another good thing about Oogie. Speaking of that, his counter push is fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
With the tar pit, so.
Never thought about that actually, but yeah, it's very like we talk about how Solstice is sort of good against strong pushing teams, but Oogie can definitely hold his own in that respect as well. So.
Showing it off right there a little bit, and buying time if anything, no buybacks necessary. So Kraken and Rhapsody both up, gonna be good to go. Oogie kind of flying out right here as the W was that Conflagrate active right there, and kind of turning it on and off. Conflagrate, one of those. It's not only good for the damage, but it does increase its movement speed, I believe, by a little bit. How much is it? Yeah, 20% movement speed. Not too shabby right there. Now looking across the board again at Sync Esports side and seeing what items may continue to be coming up. And it looks like Drunken is trying to finish his own Shrunken Head, as is Warbeast, so they're going to be at similar timings here at this rate. 2,600 on Legionnaire, so again, he's got the Soul's Bulwark now. Again, that's where the Barbed Armor is still. I'm the more and more this game's going on, especially, I don't know if that's really going to prove to be the best option, but here we go with the middle push, actually. Sheepstick got a Pyromancer. Again, that is a support Pyromancer. He's going to be bursted out, but at what cost here? Pulling a Legionnaire. He gets caught in behind, and he's going to end up being locked down to death. The Barbed Armor do a little bit of work, but not nearly enough. Look at Oogie in the meantime going after Drunken into the base. Again, that's what this hero likes to do, kind of Berserker-esque. Now, in the meantime, Sync is kind of pushing bottom. They're going for the melee racks. So Nullstone Gaming has a big decision to make here. Oogie doesn't have TP. Oh, that's why. They know at least Oogie doesn't have a TP. Neither does Kraken, actually. They're almost forced to trade right here. They lose their melee racks. They're not even going to get their own racks. They get the tower, but they cannot commit to. I mean, they got to fall back. Right? Or do they actually? Drunken Master bursting down again. In comes the eruption, though, from Magnus. And look at the Hellborn team just falling apart. Oogie's going to end up going down. He has the token, though. He's going to come back up. Warby's pounding on the auto attacks. Not enough. Oogie comes back up. He actually picks up the Bound Eye. And there is a pause coming out here in the meantime, so kind of an awkward time. But, again, the melee racks is going to live, is what happens here. And so Sync making a very good read right there is what that comes down to. I mean, they knew that he did not have have a TP, as either did Kraken. And so they're like, you know what? We're going to trade, and they're going to come out on top in the big picture, actually. So, well played by Sync Esports here.
Yeah, and another thing that was quite important is that obviously the tier 2s were bottom and top. So even if, say, Nullstone Gaming even if Zinc didn't TP back there, they would have had a hard time trying to trade for a second rack. Whereas Zinc, they didn't even have to TP back because they could have even backdoor the middle tower. It was quite low already. So, just a few of these things that were just going against Nullstone Gaming from the start. But yeah, I mean, even though they had the token on Oogie, you sort of saw him that they kind of completely disregarded Oogie until he was the last one left. And as we're sort of seeing here, I think he's most likely won't be able to get out alive here either. You got Wretched Hag, Magnus, and Legionnaire, all ways of catching him.
I mean, but he does have, well, he doesn't have Sheepstick, but he's got 14 charges. He has Primal Surge. I don't know if they want to commit to this if I were them. I mean,
Drunken is up as well, though.
Drunken is he up? Okay, yeah, he is back at base, so I guess so. Yeah, they probably will look to commit to a kill. As you point out, I mean, he has buyback, but still, making him use that, if anything, is where you definitely want to do what you want to do here. By the way, I double-checked. The other series, actually, Willowkeeper did take the first game. I think that ended pretty recently here. So, Willowkeeper over Shrek is up 1-0 so far.
Willowkeeper beat, from what I've heard, Willowkeeper beat those other guys as well. Ogre as well, again.
No, that's what I said. Yeah. Oh, it's 2-0. That's.
Yeah, 2-0. Yeah.
Oh, the series actually over. The brackets say it's still 1-0 currently, actually.
Oh.
So
Well, I just got
don't know
a message from.
who your
I just got a message from. Oh well, my source said, "GG, we couldn't do it, unfortunately."
Oh really? Okay. Did you just? Okay.
Sorry, I didn't accidentally. I keep muting myself accidentally.
Just cut out all of a sudden.
Yeah. Apparently the Flint Beastwood from Tree was too strong.
Really?
From what I heard.
Flint freaking Beastwood, really?
That was our Flint Beastwood. I said Flint Beastwood is so sick, but we never get to see it. And then
all right, here we go.
You start seeing it.
Is Oogie actually going to escape? There we go. He needs to pop Primal Surge now. He's not going to pop it just yet. There he pops it right there. He's going to toy with them. He's doing what he can. Char Pits are coming out. He is so damn tanky, but he's not tanky enough. He does fall. Man, he got them low. But yeah, he goes down, and the Bound Eye is picked up by Hag. So sure enough, the kill is successful. Onto Beaver Baker tried. He tried. He got to give credit for that. He does have a buyback like we were talking about, as does really everyone actually on Nullstone's side. So if Sync kind of overcommits here, thinking that they have a free push, that could really backfire on them. But I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see. They're going to counter push middle lane, but again, they got the bottom melee racks. That is absolutely huge, especially what has been going on in this game as of late. And so Sync feeling a little bit safer after that, no doubt. So here we go. Oogie already buys back. Bubble's going to be up in 2 seconds. So they just get the tower kill and they get the hell on out of there.
I think Zing are going to try and play this slow. They don't want to throw the game, as they've had a couple of close calls already, so they're going to play it slow. They've definitely got map control now as well, and some good warding character from Keizu actually placed this one up here, but trying to get as much aggressive warding as possible, so the next Pongo can be theirs.
I don't think Oogie needed to buy back there. I don't know why he did, honestly, because Bubbles and Warby's basically resurrected.
No, definitely.
And they were already falling back.
If he doesn't buy back there, it's going to be 4v5. Like, you have to buy back.
But Sync wasn't all 5 there. They were kind of spread out. They weren't even really fully pushing. I don't know. Maybe that's what ultimately got them back.
If he doesn't buy back, though, then Sync are obviously going to force actually Wretched Hag.
Finds Wretched Hag. The lockdown not long enough, though. He pops the Shrunken. It's going to be fine. So, yeah, with the Sheep Stick. I mean, that's kind of the downside at the same time of the burst potential. He needs time for that to build up. Of course, the Tar Pit.
He needs Hellflower as well, though. Because, like, if he has Hellflower there, I think that Wretched Hag's going to die. Because, like, with obviously Hellflower, you don't have, like, kind of the slowing effect, but obviously you've got the Tar Pit for the slow. Yeah. And also he's got the Sheep Stick as well. So I think Hellflower would be the next item for him. And man, he's so damn tanky as well, though. Like, if he has the team support, like, he can just survive for so long. And he got Shrunken Head now on Warbeast as well, so closing in. Here's some kind of late game top lane though.
Yeah, top lane Bubbles no longer.
Has a buyback there. Has a buyback.
Yeah, got 5,000 gold. Speaking of that, Jesus.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, why does he have so much saved up? I mean, maybe just trying to buy a straight up Sheep Stick, I guess, but.
It does, yeah, but he should not be having a power supply though. Like, if he's got that much, like, he's gonna go for a Sheep Stick, then at least buy like a Blessed Orb. Like, it's gonna be a lot more useful than power supply. Like, you're not gonna have two. You're not gonna use 2 buybacks. I've never seen someone use like 2 buybacks in a row. So it just, yeah.
The jump chance coming up with the Hellboy tip. The truck misses right there, but they still get Truck Master. He's gonna end up falling. Tom from Legion in the background has the farm armor up. Again, he's mitigating, but also returning some damage. Melody off to the side. Rhapsody will fall, but got a good duration off. Kelfield in the background. Okay, still alive. Okay, trying to finish off Magnus. Now, will he be able to do some? Magnus, can he get away? It doesn't look like he's going to hide in the steam bath. In the meantime, down here, 3 pickoffs happen. Sync losing 3. Magnus stunning out. Kenny Porticky, yes, he can in time. Perfect timing coming out. And I think Mickey is going to ultimately get away. But again, numbers in favor right there of Nullstone Gaming. Buyback onto Bubbles. He actually does buy a Blessed Orb. And he comes back up.
Even though Zinc had such a strong early game, like, because obviously the heroes they've got, we talked about it in the draft, but they're so tanky. Like, they don't have like a set hard carry like Dark Lady or like Moon Queen to really cut through the tankiness. And with Oogie now getting a lot more farm and obviously, you know, Shrunken on Warbeast, they are still having quite a few problems of actually sort of killing the enemy team because they're so damn tanky, man.
Yeah, kind of saw right there, and that was again a pretty good jump from Nolan. You know, the overall stats, sure, it still continues to be very in favor of Sync Esports, but it's just something, man. We're constantly seeing it. It's not just a thing that I have of like, oh, I still think they're in it just because I'm saying that for BS reasons. I mean, we're constantly seeing this now. 20 minutes later, even how they've kind of been in the same boat of barely doing enough and staying alive. I mean, sure, they've even lost a melee racks now, bottom, but as this game is now 46 minutes in. You got the Shrunken Head in the level 3 puzzle box now in Warbeast. He has another 2,300 gold saved up even. So again, you got to constantly keep an eye on that situation and how he's going to continue to progress. You mentioned Oki, another 3,300 gold saved up, so that possible Hellflower. Sheepstick on a Bubbles is going to be finished here in the very near future as well. This is a dangerous late-game team on the side of Nullstone Gaming. I don't care how far behind they are in terms of the stats. If it comes to the late game, which it really is at this point, they most certainly have a good chance of putting up a good fight. So, Sync Esports. Oh, yeah, Legionnaire pops the Shrunken Head out of reaction right there.
And particularly against, like, you know, this strong Oogie, like, 1 second of Shrunken Head difference can definitely make like all the difference, honestly. So, I think we saw Wretched Hag pop up a Shrunken Head as well. Like, if you see these the cooldowns, or sorry, the durations, you've got 6 seconds left on Hag's Shrunken Head. 5 only on Legionnaire's Shrunken Heads, and they don't have obviously unlimited gold just to keep buying Shrunken Heads. They've still got more room to grow in terms of other items. So, I mean, every single time they use a Shrunken Head, it's very, very important to be noted. So.
Yep, 5 seconds now remaining on Legionnaire, so on his own trigger, as you pointed out, so that's something very, very crucial. Bottom lane, Kraken, he actually does portal key away before he gets caught. Good job by Cholo Sami in there, playing the Kraken, able to get away. There's the Sheepstick on a Bubbles. Again, speaking of the bigger and better item pickups, Kazu must have bought something too. I mean, he has used a
buy. He bought Shrunken. Yeah, he bought Shrunken.
Okay, that's right. Okay. That is right. So yeah, he's got the full 10 seconds good to go at this point. Going to be going in right here. Ogi. All right, they took off the Null Stone. They're going for a big time. In comes the release of Kraken Ogi. Will it be enough burst damage? Yes, and well, just enough. He has a buyback. He's going to use it immediately, it looks like. And now Sync Esports trying to retreat. They notice that. They do lose Power Mancer in the background. Will it be more? Magnus, he's on the run with the portal key use. Going to be fine. Ogi, the buyback, can't get there nearly in time. And everyone retreats. And they take out the range tracks bottom. Flensmeister being sneaky while the rest of his team retreats. Gotta love that teamwork right there. And yeah, Flensmeister having fun on the bottom lane. Oh, he actually gets caught here now. Again, I think he should be fine. Yeah. Blinks away. The tar pit hits. He doesn't have a TP.
He doesn't have a TP.
Uh-oh.
They should really notice. They should really notice that. Like, they need to use the flying courier right now.
Yeah, no, they have no clue. They're not even thinking about that right now.
They need to make sure to know the kind of items each hero has, though. But all paramount's them up.
Yep. Oh, if he went up a little bit further. Okay.
Oh,
no.
What? What? How did they not see him?
I mean, they saw him, but he was just out of range.
Sure,
They didn't want to go, I'm sure. Yeah, that was close. All right, well. Pyromancer does ultimately survive. And yeah, you see Flensmeister, who's made his way all the way down here. And he buys a TP and then ports out. So yeah, that's a big mistake by Nullstone. I mean, just simply using the courier right there to check out.
Yeah, like even if it's not Oogie, like your support or someone who's not involved has to sort of say, hey guys, this guy doesn't have a TP, we can catch him. But
oh wow, there's a catch right here. I was just looking at Congo, but yeah, they catch Magnus. He bites back immediately. By the way, Mickey is now out of buybacks. Ogi is out of buybacks too, of course. This is interesting. Is this the third Conqueror? I think it's it's the third because the first one got destroyed.
Oh yeah,
got destroyed by here. We got the jump. No, not the best jump. Bubbles able to take cover. There's a charge from Kraken. The lockdown of Bubbles in the meantime with that sheep stick. Where is Oogie? I'm not sure. Bubbles gets picked off though. Here comes Oogie flying in. Got barbed armor on a Legionnaire with that top predictability in the backup, mitigating damage as usually does. Oogie comes back in. Sheep stick on to Magnus. Magnus going to be bursting out. He has no more buybacks. Legionnaire in trouble. Legionnaire being chased down. Legionnaire will fall right here. And Wretched Egg and Pyromancer are very low on life. They need to get the hell on out of here. Nullstone Gaming is honestly doing it. I mean, we're here now 50 minutes in. They're down still by a ton, but they are going to get the token of life here. And a Brutalizer, I'm pretty sure, just finished on Warbeast in the meantime.
They're too tanky, man. They don't have the hard game carry. Like we mentioned in the draft, like Drunken was picked up, and I said, oh, yeah, I'd expect some kind of hard game carry. They picked up the Rich Tag. The Zinc obviously thought it would be enough to really cut through the tankiness, but clearly not really respecting the sort of the tankiness from Nullstone Gaming, and it looks like Drent's pulling out another strong draft, and the game isn't over yet. There's still ways Zinc can get around. They think they've lost the last two team fights, but they still have the better split push. They've got the ranged racks down, and obviously they've got a Rich Tag as well, so they can play a little bit of Rat Hon if they need to, but at the same time, there is no buyback on Oogie, so I think the game plan here from Zinc is try and split push as much as possible, try and keep Nullstone out of the base as much as possible.
Frostwolf's skull just picked up by Oogie. So.
I think it's the right one, because I said I was going to say they need to sort of keep Nullstone out of the base as much as possible, and then after the token is used, try and burst him down because he has no more buybacks. But with this Frostwolf skull, mate, it's only 4,000 HP, so they're going to have difficulties killing him.
Warbeast, Pyromancer, and Oogie are all 2-0 past 45 minutes. So clearly Pyromancer on the side of Sync. I mean, more the support though. But yeah, Oogie and Warbeast on the side of Nullstone Gaming. The better, the longer the game goes, and we're continuing to see that here. And Oogie, the Frosted Skull over 4,000 life. It's not often we see a hero with over 4,000 life, but one of the cases here, coming out from Beaverbanger again, playing the Oogie. So. He's making that work, and that definitely will help with the kite factor, of course, too, as you're mentioning. So, I definitely see a good reason for that. So, yeah, might not have any buybacks, but the chances of him dying at this point is going to be pretty rare, honestly. Oh, just Oogie's 2-0. Okay, this is simply the longest game for those. Got you. Kind of meshed together with Essence. It's all right. Oogie's in the front lines over here. He's actually looking for a chance to get somebody. But so you talked about the rat haunt, as it's referred to. The idea that a lot of split pushing, basically keeping the team occupied. is the idea for Sync. Now, I will say they don't have a silhouette. You know, we saw Flensmeister doing that last cycle against that was actually Don in what was the losers bracket finals to eventually
Look at Flens though, top lane.
come through. But yeah, exactly. This is he might not have silhouette, but hey, he has a Wretched Hag who can get in there similar sense. Kraken in the meantime, he gets caught right here. Rhapsody is nearby, but it's just Rhapsody. Protective Melody. Again, he's kind of out of range. Gets tableted. Kraken uses the bananas, buying time as much as possible. Bubbles is coming in, and here we go. Sheep's got a Wretched Hag. There's a stun in from Magnus, but the release on Kraken. Wretched Hag will fall at the end. Powerbats are going to be picked off. The time is bought for No Stone Gaming, and now Magnus in trouble. Bottom lane, you look at Legionnaire. He's just kind of pushing it in. But the Rax is already dead down there, so
Rax
really not doing a whole lot.
Man, Nelson should be in. Like, Mickey doesn't have a buyback. They should realise that and at least try and force out a buyback from Flensmeister as well. They need to keep at least one, if not two heroes back in the bottom lane. And I don't think Bubbles and Rhapsody can really defend against Legionnaire. So it's a little bit questionable, actually. Although Bubbles getting dropped from Drunken as well, so...
I mean, maybe? Oh my! The counter sheepstick.
Oh my god.
The counter sheepstick, and he lives. So here comes that middle push. Yeah, they know the buybacks are not to be had. Flensmeister does have it, but this is going to be a melee Rax, definitely.
Rhapsody,
you see down here, Rhapsody. All right, it's like whatever. Distracting, if anything. Did that stop a TP? Oh, okay, no, he does TP now. So he does TP now. They're going straight cutthroat right here, but they need to be careful as here we come with the response. Master is up. Bad blast in the face. Recognize going up, though. Legionnaire with the big top, that barbed armor, and down goes Warbeast, actually. Kraken going to fall. Okay, he's losing life. He has a token. He is going to end up falling most likely. Gets the kill on a Legionnaire, but he goes down. But here's that token coming back up. Can he make something work with this? I mean, he's doing so much damage. Drunken Master is going to go down. He doesn't have Primal Surge, though, so he's not healing up. Blazing Strike just trying to burst him down. It will scare him off in the end. But he's going to, once he has Primal Surge up, I would not be surprised to see him go back in. No, he's going to retreat altogether now. So, I mean, the decision to go cut, I don't know about that. I mean, they went for the towers at the World Tree.
They've still got the tier 2 top and bottom. Like, this game's gone on forever, and they still haven't taken these tier 2 towers. But, so it's almost like they had to, but again, them sort of not having a balanced sort of push, obviously tier 2 tower, they couldn't just rush for Rex. They almost had to go cutthroat, but as a result, it cost him a little bit in that respect. But at least it forced a one buyback from Hague, and was it one buyback from Legionnaire as well, I believe? I'm not 100% sure, but still only one buyback left for the rest of Zinc, actually.
I mean, okay, yeah, 3,500 gold saved up here, so clearly, again, having no buybacks will spend that here in the near future.
This is just going to get worse, for honestly, for Zinc the later this goes, because obviously Warby still has more room to grow, so Uki has one more spot to grow, and even Kraken has 2 or 3 item slots to go, and he can definitely carry into the late game because of obviously Splash, whereas Wretched Hag, I mean, we call him a late game carry, but he kind of isn't though, because he doesn't have any kind of passive outside of the Flash of Darkness for mobility, but I mean, he's offering no more than maybe a 6-slotted Rhapsody in that respect, just because obviously he has, that kind of mobility. Like, he doesn't have any kind of passives like Kraken does, or even Warbeast or Oogie. So I mean, it's only the Drunken Master that's really going to have like an actual impact into the game, because obviously his untouchable gives him sort of the attack speed, and obviously it reduces the damage taken. But yeah, I mean, the later this goes on, there's still room for Nullstone to grow, and I mean, Zinc. Well, it's funny because we were saying, oh yeah, this game, or I was saying this game was over, because I honestly didn't think it was over, but clearly Nullstone have fought through and believed in their draft and that they could take this eventually, and clearly it's, and a couple of throws honestly from Zinc as well, so
yeah, I mean, again, that goes back to we talk about that. I mean, usually it doesn't come back to bite you in the ass, but when it does, when we do see situations, it's like we bring it up. It's like, okay, it's one thing to have fun, but this game isn't 100% over. But usually it's like, okay, then it finishes soon after. But this is one of those rare chances that, sure enough, it's now 30 minutes later even, where we're still in this game, and Nullstone, they haven't had the lead as far as team stats go. They still are pretty far behind. But that only means so much in the big picture because of where things were at ultimately with the heroes and everything else. So, yeah, this game still has some good time left. I mean, we keep going back to the buyback situation, obviously getting very low on either side. So that's really where it's a case of this is anyone's game, really. I mean, they pick off Magnus, they can start pushing in, and who knows what can happen after that. But if Oogie falls early on in a fight, then with having no buybacks, that could definitely do it in favor of Sync. So, but it keeps going back to good luck with that. What did he buy, by the way? Did he rebuy oh, he bought a Shrunken. He never had a Shrunken, did he? Okay.
No. And I think it's a good item pickup because obviously there's a lot of lockdown from the Magnus, Pyromancer, and even Wretched Hag, but also the Sheep Sticks and Hellflowers, which is a big deal because obviously he can't get the spells off, and he isn't really that tanky, but obviously him allowing to cast is just the main point of his tankiness, so I think it's a good item pickup. Also gives him the ability to sort of shrunken head and TP out if Legionnaire isn't around. So.
Oh, Wretched Hag blinks kind of into Kraken and Bubbles, but they're actually running away because of the team support. That was one of those very tense situations, as really any moment like that's going to be throughout the rest of this game because it's so close. Zink trying to move on, but...
Yeah, this is actually a really good play character from Zink because, I mean, at this time of the game, it doesn't really matter about farming because if you get one big pick off, the game can be decided on that. So I'm actually glad Zink are trying to make these plays. That they had 4 or 5 players all in sort of the dark region where Nullstone clearly won't have any kind of vision. So if they do get that one pick off there, that can be the game won in that respect. So I'm glad they're not sort of AFK farming because they're almost maxed out now. So there's no need to sort of keep on farming. They need to make these plays because clearly they are in kind of a dire situation because if they don't get the pick offs, they're going to have a very, very hard time in the team fights as we've seen in the last couple of team fights. So, I mean, at least Zink do have an understanding of ways to get back into the game, but still, there's this game is really, really tense, man. And I mean, if your team is sort of forced to run these kind of weird, cheesy strats with like Wretched Hag sort of sitting in the top lane, waiting for the enemy team to push out, then clearly Zink are taking this rather seriously.
Oh, absolutely. And, something that we were talking about earlier, the chat going on between the teams and everything, that hasn't happened for the last 20, 30 minutes when it was pretty active, throughout the earlier parts of this game. So no doubt both these teams kind of focusing down, realizing, Zink will realizing that they did not have a win when they thought they did. And also realizing, hey, we actually have a very good chance of forcing a third and final game. And remember, guys, that's where we're at. So Nullstone wins. We are going to a third and final game between these two teams in what would be the round of 4. So,
so the game plan here for Nullstone, I think is honestly, I know it sounds very, very silly, but they need to delay because they've got the late game and there's still a lot more room for them to sort of grow, particularly with the War Beast. He's got about 3,000 gold, but he's still got one item slot left. And in these sort of late game situations, you need to be sort of fully slotted, seeing as Kraken still has 2 item slots to be made use of as well. So I would like to see them try and delay as much as possible, but at the same time, they need to make sure they guard this Kongor because the next Kongor is going to be very, very key because obviously Oogie doesn't have a buyback and obviously Cheese can play a big impactful role. But it's great. Look at this Ward of Sight actually in the top lane placed by Wretched Hag. So giving them any kind of vision or any kind of advantage as they can. But whereas Zink, they need to almost try and find their place, try and go as 5, try and get the pick off because if they can get one pick off on Oogie, the game's over. They've won the game. So it honestly is kind of a 5-man hit squad to try and find the Oogie, but it's going to be easier said than done because he's got nearly 4,000 HP right now, Breaky. So a very tense part of the game.
God, Flensmeister's just so patient right now. I mean, it's ridiculous how he's just sitting here, waiting for Nullstone to maybe push somewhere, and then just start pounding on the tower. That's literally the strat that they're going for right here. That's all they're doing.
I think they're going to wait for them to take Kongor because I don't think Zink can actually defend Kongor, so they're going to try and make a trade in terms of racks for Kongor, and there's the Kongor starting to happen now, so expect maybe the Flint to start pushing out now in the top lane.
See, here's the thing, too, though. This kind of goes back to, we mentioned earlier with the TP situation on Hag, as she's trying to point out they didn't use the Fury to scout. I think you got to have the heads on the presence of mind if you're Nullstone Gaming that this is a possibility. Now, here we go with that trade as we're talking about. So Kongor, it's going down, and one TP comes in from Oogie, and as soon as that happens, you see Wretched Hag blink out. That's a very good decision by Nullstone. They only sent Oogie, knowing that the rest of them could lock it down. Bubble's going to take the token, it looks like. And Kraken picks up the bananas. That's kind of interesting, yeah. But
I mean, obviously they want TP on Warbeast, but he should pick up post-ace and take the token. Because if Warbeast, he does have one buyback, but there's no need to have token on Bubbles. He really isn't offering too much. After he uses the Sheep Stick and the Kelp Field and then the Song of the Sea, that's kind of him done. Whereas Warbeast can still offer a lot of late game. Even give it to Kraken, for example, but dude, I just don't understand why pick up the token on Bubbles. Simply because I think Warbeast thinks he's maxed out, but he needs to go post-haste before he picks up his last item here.
Well, he wants to get that last item, whatever it may be, so he has now 3,600 gold saved up. You see, again, Flensmeister being sneaky. Think of Savage Mace on
Yeah. I mean, he could even go hard and go like super tanky, which isn't as bad as it seems because obviously they don't have the greatest late game. Actually, Oogie's in.
Yeah, Oogie finds Magnus with the sheepstick. See Draco Master trying to lock him down, but again, Oogie's like, all right, Primal Surge time. And he looks to go on. In the meantime, back here, Regidag finishing off the tower. She's taking some good damage from Warby. She blinked away before she got the kill. And actually, they cannot catch her in time, so...
They need to put this Wing Courier in the top lane, just keep it there the whole time. Like there's no use of it being in the base right now. Like they need to take as much as there you go.
Yeah, they send it. Yeah, they realize.
Yeah, see,
find a new courier.
But that's exactly what they need to do because at the moment they need to have some kind of advantage or some kind of way of countering this because the bottom lane's completely gone. So there's no need to actually handling that, but having couriers in the top lane is the way. I mean, I'd buy like 4 or 5 and just have the whole outer map just completely covered with wing couriers because I mean it's there to be abused. Like you've got so much gold on perhaps like the Rhapsody or the Kraken, even the Oogie. He's like maxed out particularly unless he wants to sort of sell the Nullstone or the Icon, which is a possibility. But just buy thousands of wing couriers. Like you can have complete map control if you just buy like thousands of wing couriers. It's kind of broken, honestly. Like. You just put him in all sort of hard to sort of find spots. Bottom lane.
Yeah, Warby's getting caught out here. This is a big pick chance for Saint. They come through. Now he has a buyback. 3,200 gold. Look at the post haste that were used right there by the Legion side, Magnus included, to get there. I guess it was just Magnus. But anyways, they're going to go for the middle lane. Of course, that's where the racks are exposed. Oogie is already here, though, so need to be careful. Off to the side, Magnus, he actually stuns on a bubbles. I don't think he realized that. The tower at the Sacrificial Shrine does get destroyed, but now Magnus in trouble. He does not have a buyback, remember. He is going to eventually get killed. Now, they will need to pay attention to the bottom lane, which they are doing here with Oogie, but how do they capitalize off this is the question. Will they push back? You would think that they kind of need to here, especially with a pickoff like that.
The only problem is that Zinc are doing a great job of actually pushing out the lanes as much as possible. See, bottom lane is getting naturally pushed in from the racks, but you see Kaizu and Insane always pushing them out, but they're going to push in mid. But they need to have some kind of defense because their middle racks is completely open. You see Hag already showing in the lane, and they're going to lose their racks if they're not careful. But it looks like they're actually going to go all in. They're going to screw it and go all in for the throne breaking.
Yeah, Flint's just like, hey, pay attention to me. But so I kind of like this from Null. So they're going to have to constantly keep dealing with that. So they're just going to go cutthroat here. Behemoth's Heart purchased by Legionnaire, so he does not have a buyback, but he just massively tanked up right there. So the tower falls. The first one out lace. They're going for the second tier 4. The racks are being destroyed in the middle lane. Regidag has flank back in. Here we go. Legionnaire Sheepstick right up the bat. He can take some good damage. Kraken gets picked up. Oogie is still alive now, putting out damage as you would expect. The tar pit's doing plenty. A double tap for Binger. Did Nullstone Gaming just do it? Somewhat of a race right here. They're distracting. Drunken Master comes in. Binger, can he stay alive? Actually, Promise switches off. He's going to end up falling. He goes down. Can Warby's finish it off? Is this it for Nullstone? Maybe. No, it's not. Post haste poured in. Bubbles comes in. Nullstone's going to do it. They're going to a third and final game over Sync Esports. How close was that? I can't click on the other one, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, no, it still had a good amount of life left, it looks like, but the creeps were starting to take out the other shrine. Man, oh man, what a good old base race to finish it off right there.
Man, if Nullstone Gaming died there, like, they don't have a buyback on any of their heroes, they could easily just lose the game after that team fight, but man, that was so close. I think it was only Bubbles and Rhapsody left in. They got the final attack on the shrine, and ended up taking it to a game 3 break. What a game, man, like, this draft, man, it worked for me in the last series. It's worked against Zinc. I mean, Zinc from losing the grand finals to losing to maybe a tier 2 team. I mean, clearly Nullstone Gaming is showing it, but still, man. Whew, what a game.
Yeah, we could sit here and say Game of Thrones. We could say, Sync Esports, they were making some stupid mistakes and maybe thinking the game was over when it wasn't, but I hate doing that, especially when a team like Nullstone